Okay, cool. We are now recording.
I'm going to give it just a couple more minutes, guys, just to let everyone else come into the room. People have maybe finished some sessions for the day or hopped on. You can post into the chat. Let us know where you're from. Really excited about this one today.
Yeah, me too. Shall we broadcast live to Facebook as well?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Live on Facebook.
You guys can just use the chat and say hi if you want to. Be cool to have you in here. Hey, hey, hey.
If you want to go on the Fitpreneurs one, Simon, it'll have to be from your end.
Oh, we'll just record. That's fine. We'll do it another time. All right, let's get going.
Right. Let me turn this off. Okay, cool. I'm ready.
This is it. Welcome, guys, and we are ready to get rocking and rolling. So, who are your hosts today? Speaking right now, I'm Simon Lovell, CEO and founder of Fitpreneurs, author of 2 books, The Lunchbox Diet, which came out in 2009 by HarperCollins, also the New Encyclopedia of Modern Fitness Business Building, also on the Coaching Council for Men's Health, and also a contributor to Forbes.com. And, you know, I love this industry. I love that you guys are on here. Not only do you want to grow your businesses, but you also want to change more lives. That's the reason why we do what we do, right? It's to create that level of impact. And so I'm super excited today to be co-hosting with the amazing man that is Liam Britton. Liam.
Thank you. Guys, I don't know if anyone knows who I am. You probably don't. My name's Liam. I'm a former studio owner and former client to Simon's. And more recently, just come on as a coach to work under the Fitpreneurs, which I'm really, really excited about. And I'm super excited to bring this training along with Simon tonight. So thank you for having me, Simon. And I'm super pumped to speak to all you guys.
Yeah, let's get going. So guys, if you want to grab a piece of paper and a pen, make sure you keep hydrated. And, you know, Liam's going to be going over the majority of the training with you today, and I'm going to be interjecting and helping you guys move forward. But just make sure you're super present. I got a nice bottle of purified water in my hand, and make notes. That's really important. Liam.
Cool. So do you want to intro Simon, what we're going to be going through tonight?
You go for it.
Okay, cool. So what we're going to be going through is how to scale a highly profitable fitness studio without you training clients ever again. Now, I know what it's like in the fitness industry. You know, I've been that guy in the trenches, you know, as a one-on-one trainer, boot camp owner, fitness studio owner, you know, working early mornings, late nights, you know, sacrificing so much of your time. And you get to a point where you feel like, you know, how do I make this a proper business without it requiring me all the time? And that's where I was. But after about 6 or 7, 8 years of pain, trying to find my way, I finally cracked it. And I, from scratch, managed to make a studio, to create a studio that could, you know, that was highly profitable, but didn't require me to do any of the training. Now, I know some of you might now maybe thinking that, how is that even possible, right? And I totally understand that. But I'm going to be talking about how I did that, and not just like 1 month, you know, month in, month out, highly profitable studio without me training clients and finally becoming that business owner. And I'm really, really super excited to take you through this tonight along with Simon. So our goal tonight is basically to make sure that you understand this, right? This is going to be probably different to whatever everything that you've seen before. I'm going to be coming from a slightly different angle, And yeah, I'm really, really excited. So by the end of it, you should really understand how you do this. Okay, so that's our goal. So if you're going to measure us by anything, that is it. Okay, so I'm gonna be taking you through tonight exactly how I hit these figures, because there is a lot of BS in the industry. People saying, I done this and I done that. I'm all about facts. I know you're all about facts too, right? And seeing what's down on paper. So I'm just going to quickly show you some bank statements from my studio, so because at the moment I'm just some random guy, right? This random guy called Liam, right? I'm going to show you that I've done it. I've got the t-shirt, and I'm going to help you and reveal to you tonight exactly how I did this, right? So 8,000 and then 18,000, okay? 18,000. So this is like month in, month out, okay? These kind of numbers, 19, 21, 28,000 pounds. So this is in pounds, don't forget. In dollars, you're probably looking at $39,000, $40,000 at its peak, okay? So over the year, I made £196,000, okay? And I'm going to be sharing with you exactly how I did that. Plus, this money was made without me doing any training hours, right? And I'm going to show you exactly how I did that, okay? Cool. Simon, tell them what they can win if they stay to the end.
What we're going to do every single month is we're going to pick into a hat, and at the end, you'll be given an email address where you can win basically £100 or $100 worth of equipment. Now, for some of you, might be in the UK, you might be on the other side of the world. So depending on where you're at, we might give you an On It voucher or a Rogue voucher. And the reason why I shared this today is I'm obviously a marketer. So, you want to have some really cool stuff. And I love this type of stuff, right? Which is like bright. You got the Spider-Man ropes there and other stuff. This may appeal to you. It may not. But we want to help you to kit out, whether you've got a small gym, or whether you're working out of someone else's place right now, whether you just want to, have something to do some cool marketing with. So yeah, we'll give you details at the end of how to enter that.
Cool. So what makes this different? So I know you guys have been on a lot of trainings before. You've probably been on a lot of webinars, but there's a couple of different things that I'm going to be showing you tonight. Number one, I'm actually going to give you tangible strategies that you can take away. I don't know who you are. You could be personal trainers, you could be studio owners, but I'm going to give you tangible strategies that you can take away from this training, implement straight into your business and get a result. Okay, that's the first thing that I'm going to do. And secondly, what I'm going to be showing you tonight is how to become a business owner, right? That doesn't require you to be in your facility, for example, or be in your business all of the time. A lot of the webinars, a lot of the trainings you see are showing you how to do everything, right? But this is going to show you how to be that business owner, how to outsource, whether it's sales or leads or your admin, whatever it is, and finally have that business that has got legs, if you like, that can run on its own. Because I know what it's like. When I was in the industry, if you went on holiday, for example, you weren't making money, right? But I'm going to show you how I went to places like Fiji, places like Iceland, places like Canada, and my business was still running and making money, right? And I'm going to be showing you how to do that. So that's what makes this different. So yeah, it'd be great for you guys to stay on and see all that. Okay, cool. So just a little bit more about me if you don't know who I am. My name is Liam Britton, of course, and got some funny pictures going on here, which we'll talk about now, I guess. So the one in the top left, you're probably thinking, what's going on there? So that's me in a sumo suit. So one of the things that I love to do in my fitness studio was to build a really great community. And I used to take my clients out. We'd go and do really fun stuff together. And one summer kind of weekend, we went and done like It's a Knockout. So that's me running in a sumo suit, having lots of fun. And like I say, it was very, very hot in that sumo suit. Simon, why don't you talk about the big man down the bottom?
Yeah, so this is me with Tony Robbins. Actually, this was in India, and the reason why we put this picture here too was that also Liam ended up coming and joining Tony's Platinum Partnership too, which was something that we did when Liam came to Thailand with the baby tiger. So yeah, super great experience, amazing mentor for over a year, and really taught me a lot of amazing things about myself, about business, about life, and really had a profound impact on me and also the clients that I started to work with. So yeah.
Yeah. So like Simon just said, I went on Tony Robbins' Platinum Partnership as well. You know, you get to fly around the world and work with Tony, and it was incredible. Just to give you some other facts about me, obviously, you know, I'm a studio owner, ex-studio owner. I've personally sold, you know, £250,000 in personal training myself. Sales is my forte. You know, and I just want you guys to know that I've been in the trenches and I've done it, right? I've got the t-shirt and I created a completely self-sustainable 20K per month studio from scratch. Okay. And I'm going to be revealing a lot of the ups and downs of creating that studio, right? I'm going to take you through, I'm going to give you the shortcut, give you the cheat way tonight.
And something I just want to say, guys, too, which is profit is super important. So what I love about Liam's journey and his story is not just obviously eliminating those training hours and you guys defining exactly how much training you want to be doing, but you can be making money, but are you profitable? And then what are you doing with that money? Are you sensible with it? So the profit is really important. And Liam had a massive amount of profit in his business for a small location, 1,000 square foot, which was within a different location, right? So you look at maximizing opportunity, this was huge.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, like Simon just said, I had 1,000 square feet inside of another gym. So I was just renting a space, right? I didn't actually have like my own like studio independently, but I saw it as a great opportunity, you know, to lower my overheads and to build big profits. So you don't always need, you know, your name on the front door, if you like, to have a very profitable and very good business. Right, cool. So in the industry, I was in the industry for about 8 or 9 years, and I'd done a lot of things right. Okay, as you can see from the income that I created, but I also did a lot of things wrong. Right, it was a lot of trial and error, which I'm going to be going through. So after doing this for 8 years, this is what I learned. Right, you can have a highly successful business without sacrificing your whole life. Now, it just seems like when I was a PT, you know, it just seemed to go hand in hand, like working loads of hours and getting up early mornings and doing late nights and sacrificing all your free time to kind of bring in money, right? And I thought that was the way it was meant to be. That is the only way it could be for a long time. But then I realized that it doesn't have to be that way. I promise you, it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to sacrifice everything to have a successful fitness business. And when you have some simple systems and a team in place, it becomes very, very easy. You know, one thing that I used to be was a huge control freak. And I know some of you will be able to relate to this, where I felt like no one could do as good a job as me, right? So I never kind of outsourced anything. I didn't take employees on because I felt like, you know, no one's ever going to do it as good as me, right? But once I kind of got over that and I started bringing on, building a team and putting systems in place, you know, it became very, very easy, okay? And lastly, I just want to say that there are plenty of people who are ready and willing to pay £1,000 for training programs that you don't personally run. Okay, so there's two parts to that. So you might be thinking, how do you even get someone to pay £1,000 plus for a training program? And then even more so, like, and you're not even running it. How is that even possible? That's exactly what I'm going to be going through tonight. And I don't care where you are. You know, people say, "Oh, I'm in a bad area." You know, people don't pay that kind of money. I just think that's rubbish, and that's your stories going on. That's BS, right? I feel that wherever you are in the UK, wherever you are in the world, there are people who are ready and willing to pay that kind of money for training programs. And I'm going to be talking about that a bit more depth later on. So I discovered this the hard way, right? And tonight you get the cheat and you get the easy way, right? I want to make sure that all of you guys are paying attention right now. So are you guys ready to get this, right? Are you ready to get the easy way, right? Because I'm going to be showing you, you know, all the ups and downs. You know, I went through kind of 8 years of pain to get to this. I'm going to give you kind of like the fast track, right? I want to make sure that you guys are ready for this. So what I want you to do is just to type yes in the chat box. This is when everyone frantically goes looking for the chat box. So just type yes in the chat box if you're ready to get the cheat, if you're ready to get the easy way to find out exactly how I did this. And yes, okay, cool. Simon, you shout them out as people
Edmund says yes with a smiley emoji. I love the use of emojis. So we want we want full participation from everyone on, okay? So you've got to post in the chat so that we know that you are watching and active. We got a very highly peaked bicep there with a yep from Dan. Thanks, Dan. Keep it going, guys. Keep it coming on.
Yes, make sure you type yes in the chat box, because if you're doing something else right now and listening to this, or you're in the car listening to this, or you're not fully present, probably the best thing to do is turn it off, right? Turn the webinar off, right? Because if you're not fully in, you're not ready to play full out, you're not going to get the benefit. So if you're one of those people who haven't typed yes in the chat box yet, make sure you get there and you do it, okay? So we know that you're paying full attention, okay? Okay, cool. So let me just take you through the hard way, right? This is what I had to go through to get to that result, because it wasn't plain sailing. It wasn't easy, right? I went through a lot of stress and pain and struggle and sacrifice in order to get there, right? So this is what I did, and I'm sure a lot of you will be able to relate to this. I packed my diary full of one-to-one sessions, as I thought this was going to give you the money and life that I wanted to. I'm going to go into this more a deeper level in a sec, but we all know what it's like as a PT. You're like, great, I'm going to be a PT, I'm going to be charging £30 an hour, I'm going to fill my diary out as much as possible. But we all know once you get to that 30 to 40 hour mark, you're like, wow, I am dead, right? I'm so tired. Like you can't physically do any more than that. So how can you grow your business and earn more money? Cool. Then I built out a 2-location boot camp, right? This is what every personal trainer does, I think. They go and build a boot camp, right? But I was massively undercharging, right? So I thought, you know what, I'm going to try and help more people, less money, and I was going to try and get as many people in as possible, right? It just massively fell on its head, and I'm going to tell you that story in a bit. And I kept trying to do this myself through trial and error, right? Until I met Simon here, which we're going to talk about as well. But I was going through massive trial and error for a long time. And then finally, it all clicked into place for me, right? And I'm going to show you, so you don't have to go through all of this, right? So you can just get all the good stuff. Okay, cool. This is your second chance to make sure that you're participating in this webinar. Okay, so do you want the easy way to build a sustainable 6-figure fitness studio that requires you to do zero training, or how much you want to? Because you might be a PT or a studio owner right now. You're like, hey, I still want to do, 5 hours, training, which is totally cool, right? I'm going to be showing you how to build a business based on what you want, okay? Not the other way around, right? Build a business around your life, not a life around your business, okay? So I want to make sure that you all participating. So just go and write hell yeah in the chat box if you're ready to get the easy way, okay?
Hell yeah, says Jolie.
Okay, good. Right, we've got one. There's 9 of you on.
Hell yes, says Nicholas.
Okay, cool. We've got a few people that are playing full out tonight. Okay, if you're not playing full out now, you're not going to be playing full out in your business, right? That's the way I see it.
That's something which I always talk about on my VIP coaching calls, which is if you want people to show up and play full out with you, then you've got to be willing to do that yourself. Yes. And that's about high performance. It's about literally deciding at what level you're going to play at, so that you can also attract the same people into your life. So make sure you post hell yeah.
Okay, cool. I can see a few flashing up there. Okay, so if you're one of those guys or girls that are playing full out, good for you, right? If you're not, you've got to sort it out, right? Okay, cool. So in 12 weeks, my fitness studio was doing 20, 30K months, and I didn't take one training session. Now, right now, you might be thinking, oh my God, that's like, you can't even fathom them kind of numbers, right? I remember when I was, a PT or just opened my studio, I always had this vision of reaching 10K, but I had absolutely no idea how it was even possible, right? But then I was able to do these figures, right? I don't care where you are right now, if you're earning 500, 1,000, or you're a brand new PT, okay, it doesn't matter, right? There's just some things that you need to implement, that you need to learn to get this result, okay, which I'm going to be sharing with you tonight, which I'm super pumped about. Now, what I've got to say quickly is these results are not typical, right? So I'll read this to you because it's very, very important. I will walk you through specifically what I did to create a sustainable 6-figure fitness studio whilst doing 0 training hours. My results are not guaranteed for you, as the average person who attends this training will take 0 action and get zero results. However, I'm happy to show you exactly what worked for me for free. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme in any way, but something that needs energy, commitment, and hard work. So I'm going to give you the strategy, right? But if you don't take action, if you haven't got energy, if you haven't got commitment, if you haven't got hard work, okay, if you aren't ready to bust the gut and make it happen, this is not going to happen. This is not going to work for you, right? So just write yes. I'm gonna get you to write a lot in the chat box, right? So make sure you got it open. Just write yes if you understand this statement, right? And then I will carry on. Because don't you think it's important, Simon, that they understand this?
Yeah, I think it's super important, and I also think it's super important from a coaching perspective to have your clients understand that in order to get results with their training programs, they need to play full out, and it's not it's not an easy process. You can speed it up for them, but they got to do the work. They got to put the work in. There's information and there's knowledge, but without commitment and action, it's just frustration.
Mm-hmm.
So again, this is about playing at high performance. If you want to be a high performer, those are the keys. Exactly. And there's so much out there, which is maybe like Liam says, quick fix, easy, so you have to really look at this from a perspective of, and I said this a long time back when I was building my business, which is I'm going to work hard for a certain amount of time so I have the life that most people will never have. And I do.
Yeah. Spot on. Right, I can see a few people have typed in the chat box, which is awesome. So I will crack on. So we'll get to the juicy bits now. These are the 3 secrets that we're going to be going through tonight. So secret number 1, you can make thousands more per month in your fitness studio without adding more hours training people. Right, this is perfect if you want more time off. Okay, really excited to go through that one. So we're going to be going through that next. Secret 2, you don't personally have to train anyone ever, regardless of your clients only wanting you. Big plus, you're starting to feel less passionate about training people, because that was me. After, and I'm sure some of you will be able to relate to this. After 6, 7, 8 years of training people, I didn't want to do it anymore. Right? I was still passionate about my business and the fitness industry, but I just didn't want to be training clients all the time. I wanted to grow my business. I wanted to be the business owner. Okay. And then secret number 3, you don't need a complex marketing strategy to find loyal, high-paying clients. You can generate these hot leads for free. It even works if you live in a poor area. I don't care where you are in the world. Okay. There are high-paying clients under your nose right now. Okay. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a little bit later on. Okay, cool. So secret number 1, you can make thousands more per month in your fitness studio without adding more training hours. This is perfect if you want more time off. Okay, so I'm going to go through my story so you understand how this was achievable by me. Okay, so back in 2008, 2009, I qualified as a personal trainer, as a freelance. That's me, 21 years old, with one of my first clients there. Okay, and like I said earlier, I had this dream that yes, once I become a PT, I'm going to be charging £30 an hour, going to pack my diary out, and everything's going to be sweet, right? But I soon realized after, 35, 40 hours of one-to-one PT, I was like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. I'm so tired. I'm shattered. And, I got to that point where I was just burning out, right? I was a young lad. I wanted to enjoy my life. I wanted to go out, have fun, see my friends, see my family, go out on a Saturday night, but I couldn't do it because I was either working or I was just so tired. I was just sleeping all the time, right? And I thought, what? This is crazy. Okay, cool. So I thought, well, something needs to change. So what I did was I went and opened up a boot camp, right? Because I thought, right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do less sessions. I'm going to get more people, charge them a little bit less money, but I'm going to get loads more people come in, right? And basically, it just was a massive flop. I was massively undercharging, like £50 a month. And it was just because I was looking after so many people, it just became a massive stress, right? And it just got too much to me, and I had to shut the boot camp down. I ended up in bed ill through burnout for 2 weeks. I got taken to small claims court because I owed the gym money. Loads of stuff happened. Like my little brother had to bail me out, right? This is how bad it was. So I've been in some real downs. Right. And then that down was so bad that I gave up on my business. Right. I gave up on the industry, and I was like, I'm not going to be a business owner. Right. It's just not for me. I can't do it. It's not going to happen. So I went back to employment, right? I got forced back to employment. I went and worked for LA Fitness as a not as a PT, but as like a membership sales advisor. And I ended up working for a place called Gold Soccer Center, where I was like an assistant manager. It's just like a sports center, basically, right? So I was back doing employed work, right? I'd given up, right? Because it was so bad, right? And I owed all these people money. But the thing was, right, I'm a massive Arsenal fan. I'm a massive football nut. I love playing football. I still do. Still 31, but I act like I'm 9 years old. I still love all the football stuff, right? And basically, I was working an employed job, and I wanted to play football on a Saturday afternoon, but the job that I was in didn't allow me to do it, right? So I asked my boss at the time, hey, can I have Saturday afternoons off? He was like, no, you can't. You have to work. So the following Monday, I just handed in my notice, right? That's how much I love football. Just handed in my notice. I want to play on a Saturday afternoon, right? So I thought, okay, cool. Just handed in my notice. What do I do now? So I thought, do you know what? This is about 9 months later after the boot camp failed. I thought, do you know what? I'm going to give, fitness industry and having a business another go, right? I got my energy back again. I'm going to give it another go. My mum was like, no, don't do it, because she saw the state I was in. But I was like, no, I'm going to do it. Right. So here are my first two clients. I rented, became a PT in a Muay Thai boxing gym. And I had this idea that I was going to do small group training, right? So small groups of like 4 to 8 people at a time. And I'm going to charge them, a bit more money. And I'm going to go through the exact strategy that I use. But they're my first two clients right there, right? You've got Gemma on the left, Becky on the right, okay? And that was the beginning of, I had no idea where it was going to go, okay? But this is what I started off with, okay? And you might want to take some notes here, okay? So this is what I did. I've done small groups of 1 to 8 people, okay? 45-minute sessions. And I just built my kind of schedule out. So I built something around my life. So I decided that I was going to do 4 a.m. sessions, right? Starting at like 6:30, right? And then 4 p.m. sessions, okay? So I had the middle of the day completely free, okay? And then 2 Saturday sessions as well, right? So I was doing 6 hours a day, which is 31 and a half hours a week, which was doable for me. And everyone did 3 sessions a week. Something that I learned is if your clients are not doing at least 3 sessions a week, they're probably not going to get great result, right? I wanted to become results driven. I wanted to be known as the place to be to get a result, right? So why, as PTs, we all know this, like 1 session a week or even 2 sessions a week is probably not going to get them results. So I decided that I was just going to do, a results driven program. And I worked out I had a capacity of 112 people, and I decided to charge £130 per month with a minimum commitment of 3 months, which was rolling. And I worked out I had an earning potential of £13,000 a month, right? Which for me, I was like, that's amazing. Okay, I've got a system, I've got a strategy, right? I've got a business plan that I know is never going to require more training hours, but it's got the scope, the scalability to go to £13,000 a month based on 100 people. Okay, that is how I started. Okay. And eventually, after about a year or so of working solidly, I grew to about 40, 50 members organically, right? This is before Facebook ads and all that kind of stuff. So I was doing a solid 5, 6K per month, right? And I had enough money in the bank to go and open my studio, right? Now, like Simon said earlier, I only had it was about 900 to 1,000 square feet, okay? And it was inside of another gym, right? You can see the rest of the building there, right? I just had 900,000 square feet cut off that was exclusive to me. No one else could go in it apart from me and my clients, but that was my little space, right?
I just got to say, Liam, like your clever choice of colors here, because just picking that type of equipment and actually that standing out on images and stuff is a game changer. So that's good stuff.
Yeah, I like everything you see there was bought out of my back pocket. No loans, nothing like that. That was just hard work and absolute graft to get all of that together, right? And I can remember putting that studio together and kind of like looking at it thinking, I've done it, right? I'm finally there, because that was my dream. That was my goal. And I know a lot of you on the webinar, on the training, will be thinking, that's my goal too. I want to have my studio, and I promise you, you can do that, right? You might have your own studio already, which is awesome, and you know what that feeling is like, right? But I wanted to take this to the next level, and this is where Simon comes in, right? Because yes, I was doing £5,000-6,000 a month, which, you know, some of you might feel, oh, that's really good. And that was really good for me. I was really happy with that. But I had this feeling that it had more potential, that I had more potential personally. And I know a lot of you on the training right now, you know that you've got a lot of potential, and you know your business has got a lot of potential, right? And you want to take it to the next level. And I felt like that too. So I went looking for a business mentor, and I found a certain man called Simon Lovell. And yeah, the kind of rest is history. And when it took me a year to pluck up the courage to invest in Simon, right? I'll tell you the truth, okay? You know, when I first reached out to Simon and we had a phone call, I didn't go ahead, right? But then over a space of a year, Simon kept feeding me testimonials and all these amazing results that he's getting for people. And it just got to a point where I was like, I've got to do this, right? I've got to do this. So I just messaged Simon and I said, how much does it cost? Because I'm doing it, right? And he got me enrolled, and then we had our first phone call, right? So we had our kind of onboarding call, and I had that with Simon. And basically what happened was, so I told Simon a bit about my business. You know, you've just seen it, right? The outline of it. And he told me that, you know, yeah, it's great. You've got some scalability there. But he said, Liam, you're gonna increase your prices, right? And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, you're gonna increase your prices. And I was like, okay. He goes, how much are you charging right now? I said, £130 per month. He goes, well, you're gonna charge £1,000 for your first 12 weeks. And I was like, I'm going to swear here, what the fuck, right? What the fuck, right? There's just no way it's going to happen, right? Simon, do you remember that conversation, right?
I do remember it, yeah. And I love saying that phrase to you because it got you into action.
Yeah. So what happened was, right, you're probably thinking, what does that even mean right up there? What Simon's saying there. So basically, I said, no way is that happening. There's no way I can increase my prices. And Simon was like, why? And I said, well, you know, I've got people that are paying this amount already, and I don't want people talking and getting people upset and, you know, right? I don't want people paying different prices, and, you know, I just don't want that hassle. And he was like, well, Simon was like, well, is that definitely going to happen? And I was like, well, no. And he was like, well, could you handle it if it did happen? And I was like, yes. He goes, well, stop being a pussy then. Right? And Simon's very clever, aren't you, Simon? You know what buttons to push with each individual person. And he seemed to kind of light the fire in me. And secretly in my head, I was like, well, fuck you, Simon. I'm going to show you. Right? And I thought, right, let's do it. Let's increase my prices. Right? And Simon really got me motivated and pushed me, because those were the stories that were holding me back, that I was saying that, okay, I can't increase my prices because of X, Y, and Z. Right? And Simon pushed me through that, and it really kind of like made me sit up in my chair, right? I think you call it like a pattern interrupt, I think is what you call it. And I was just like, whoa, right? And
I've been learning too much from Tony.
Yeah, right? Right? My head was just like, okay. And he just got me motivated, right? And I was like, I'm gonna show Simon, right? And it was the best thing that ever happened. That conversation changed my whole business, okay? And that's when the magic happened. So I was on Simon's program. I'd done FitPro Mastery. And one of the most important things that I learned was how to sell high ticket, right? So I had a bit of sales background, and I thought I was quite polished with my sales. But once I went through FitPro Mastery, I realized that I wasn't. And I realized that the way that I was doing my sales was wrong. And it wasn't getting me the result that I want. Yes, you know, I was enrolling people with £130, but once you go to that next level, you know, increasing your prices to like £1,000, you know, your sales process becomes more and more important. And I learned how to sell high ticket. And that's what, you know, Simon's program was so good at, right? And Simon, I think I did like the first 2 modules of that FitPro Mastery, and that gave me what I needed to go and get a result.
Yeah, sometimes it's just that's the catapult a lot of people need, you know?
Yeah.
So
it's incredible. So this is what I decided to do. Now, this is the changes that I made after that phone call with Simon, going on to Fit Pro Mastery. Okay. I kept everything the same apart from what's in bold. Okay. So I didn't do 130 pounds a one. I moved to 12-week body transformations that cost $997. Okay. And then after then, I committed people into 9 months at £147 a month. So it was like getting them committed for a whole year, because I know, you know, that it takes up to a year most of the time to get someone a good result. And so it stays with them, right? Because we all have them clients who will come and train with you for a month, disappeared, and they put all the weight back on, for example, right? But 12 months, you know, mind, body, getting all that sorted. Okay. And suddenly my earning potential went up to like 30K a month. Okay. With no extra hours, right? Just by increasing my pricing, just by learning high ticket sales, right? And going through them modules on Simon's Fit Pro Mastery, suddenly everything changed, right? And I didn't add any more time. Okay. If that makes sense. Does this make sense to people? Just type yes in the chat box if this is making sense to you. Okay. Because I could be just talking absolute garbage right now. You might have no idea what's going on. I just need to know that you're following. So just type yes in the chat box if you're still with me. Okay. Okay. I saw 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, cool. Right. That's good enough for me. Right. You guys are following along. Right. And this is what, like, learning this, okay, taking Simon on, you know, learning high ticket sales. This is what really put my income through the roof. Right. So this one here is the month before I took Simon on. Right. I was done £8,000. Okay. Then I took Simon on, boom, 18,000. Okay. Just by making them small changes that I just spoke about. Okay. And then that carried on 18, 17, 19, 21, 28,000. Okay. That was my biggest month. And that is in December, right? Most of the time in the industry, people say, oh, December's the worst time in the industry because everyone's thinking about Christmas. Not for me, right? 27 in January, 20, okay, and the rest goes on, right? 196,000, okay, over 12 months, okay? You've seen that. Okay, cool. Right, cool. So that's secret number 1, okay?
I just want to say, Liam, before you go on, that's
yep.
In dollars, that's $36,000.
Yeah, so the biggest month, which is, yeah, that December one.
Yeah, 27, Google converter, 36,550, just for everyone who's in the States and
cool.
Maybe different areas. All right.
Cool, guys. I hope that makes sense so far. Okay, and I'm not rushed through that. Okay, so secret number 1. Okay, so just by putting up your prices, learning high ticket sales, overcoming them blocks, right, that I had, that Simon helped push me through. Okay, that is what helped me, you know, triple my income, quadruple my income, more than quadruple. I don't know what the next one is, to get those make that kind of money. Okay, whilst doing the exactly same amount of training hours. Okay. Okay, cool. So secret number 2, you don't personally have to train anyone ever, regardless of your clients only wanting you. Big plus if you're starting to feel less passionate about training people. And the first thing I want to say is that's okay. If you're feeling less passionate about training people, okay, there's nothing wrong with you. I think there's a time in a trainer's life where they get to that point where they're like, you know, I just don't want to be just a trainer anymore. I want to be a business owner, right? I want to be a business owner. I want to, you know, be able to have a bit more freedom, a bit more time whilst my business runs without me. Right? Does anyone feel like that? It'd be great to know if anyone feels like that. If you do feel like that, just write me in the chat box so I know that's you right now. Okay? It might not be anybody. Okay, there's at least one. I know that. Just in the little flash 2. Okay, cool. So you guys have got to that stage right now where you're like, you know, I just, you know, I've been doing this a long time, been in the game a while. I'm ready to be a business owner. Right? I've got to that point now. Okay? You're sick of the early mornings and the late nights. I know what that's like. Okay. So I started to outsource my training, right? And I had all these normal fears. So I'm going to bring Simon in for this story as well again. So when I worked with Simon, I spent a day at his home in Bath when he was living in the UK, and we were sitting outside, lovely day, sitting outside, and he said, "Okay, Liam, right, you're making, better money now. Let's talk about building out a team, outsourcing. So what I want you to do is to write everything down that you're doing in Simon, why don't you tell the story? You tell it."
Well, I think one of the most important things to do, someone's written in the chat, I want, I still love training people, but I want more. But you have to realize and understand that if you want more, you have to step away. And the truth is that if you're running a business, the thing that you love the most and you think that you're best at, for many business owners and entrepreneurs, is the thing that keeps them trapped from getting them to the next level. You might want to write that down. So for example, if you think that you're the best at training people, right, that is the thing that you hold on to so much that is actually stopping you from having freedom. So when Liam came to the house, I sat him down and I said, "Hey, listen to me. I want you to write down and grab a piece of paper and a pen, draw a line down the middle, and on the left column, write down everything that you're currently doing right now. And then on the right area, or circle the things that you don't need to do and the things that you need to outsource to be able to get yourself to the next level." So you can carry on, Liam.
Yeah, cool. So that's exactly what happens. And all I wrote down on the stuff that I wanted to do was the sales and content creation, right? That's why I got that little speech bubble. So I just want to do the sales shit, right? Because that's all I wanted to do, right? I was passionate about sales. I was passionate about building my business. I knew that the sales part of it was where my business was going to grow and get huge leverage. So that is what I wanted to focus my time on. Right, doing more consultations or body transformation sessions, as I used to call them back then. Okay, so, but I had fear around letting my training go, right? And I'm sure you guys have got the normal fears. Will these trainers make me look bad? Will my clients like them? But my clients don't want anybody else, right? Am I shortchanging my clients if I bring a trainer? Will clients leave? I had all those fears, and I totally get it if you've got them too. Right, but I promise you, all those fears are never as bad as you think they're gonna be, right? So I had to go through all of this as what you'll come up against or might have been through already. Okay,
and this is one of the biggest traps of a wannabe business owner. You're the operator, you're doing everything on your own. You've got this desire, you see other people that are earning more money and they have more freedom, they're taking the time off. But the truth is, if you come back to the truth of the situation, it's because you're continuing to do what you were conditioned to do from the training company that taught you. That's really it.
Absolutely. So I totally get it if you've got all those fears right now as well. Okay, cool. So I got in my head. I was like, obviously with Simon, I wrote down, I didn't want to do the training anymore. So I went searching, right? I went looking for a trainer, and at the sports center that I used to work, I heard that there was a really great trainer there who wanted to become a freelance trainer, but didn't feel comfortable letting a full-time wage go. So I had a conversation with him. Okay. And I said, "Hey, look, come and work for me part-time, and you have that kind of safety net of money every month, and you can then train you can then build a one-on-one business as well if you want to," right? And that gave him the kind of safety net to come and work for me, right? And he was a great trainer, okay? So he took, half the training off my hands. So he took about 16 hours off my hands, straight away. He came straight in. There was a integration period, and I'll quickly talk about that, how I did that. So basically it happened over like 3 or 4 weeks. So for the first 1, maybe 2 weeks, he came into the business and he just shadowed me, right? Let's just say for the first week, I did the sessions. He just shadowed me and kind of got involved and helped clients when needed, right? The second week, he led the session, but I was there shadowing him, right? So he felt okay because I was there, and my clients had started to get used to him. His name was Adam, started to get used to Adam, but I was still in the building, right? Because there's an integration. You can't just throw them in with your clients, right? A new trainer, because they'll be like, "Whoa, what the hell is going on?" Right? You've got to integrate them in, right? Because if you ask them, "Hey, I'm going to bring in a new trainer," they'll be like, "Oh my God, no, we don't want another trainer," right? So you've got to do it slowly, right? So at first, when he's shadowing me, I introduce him, they get to know him, and then he can then lead a session the next week, right? And I'm there. The third week, he's leading the sessions, okay? But I'm in the office next door, right? So I can like poke my head out and go, hey, you know, hey to my clients, hey, how you doing? You know, have that chat with them, have that interaction with them, okay? So they know that I'm still there, but he's fully leading the session. And by week 4, I didn't have to be there at all. 3 weeks, Adam had been there. They know Adam, they like Adam, right? They end up loving him. I think they loved him more than me, to be fair, right? And it was all good, right? So he spared up 16 hours. I was then able to do more consultations, right? So I got 16 hours to do more consultations. And what does that mean? More money, right? I did use some of that time to have off. Like I had a couple of evenings off a week, right? I had my Saturdays off, but I used some of them hours to do more consultations, which then took my business up, right? And this is what Simon was saying earlier, is that if you want to move your business forward, you've got to start stepping away so you can start concentrating on building your business. You know, the whole cliche, you know, working in your business, not on your business, right? And all that, right? That's exactly what that is.
Something I also want to say too, which is just a little side note on this, guys, which is really important, which is scaling a business and getting traction. You have to understand that in your business right now, there's bound to be challenges. And as you make another difficult step forward, then that will open up other challenges. It's called having a business. And I think a lot of people get caught in this mindset of that it's not, you're never going to have these difficulties. And so this is what Liam was able to do, was get over those hurdles with the guidance that he had. And then, of course, it created different challenges, which then he overcame. And it was a series of steps leading up to the income and the freedom that he was able to have.
Yeah, for sure. Like having Simon there to kind of like someone who's been there, done it, helped other people do exactly the same. He was able to kind of push me through each step one at a time and go, hey, Liam, like I know what fear you're having is completely normal. This is what you need to do, right? And that's you know, I would never have done that on my own. Never in a million years without Simon's guidance and help, for sure, right? So once I added a trainer in, I kind of saw the power of outsourcing and kind of like scaling my business. So I was like, okay, cool, let's go nuts. I had the income coming in. So why not build out a team? So I ended up getting 4 trainers. Adam became my head coach. I got a full-time PA. That was an absolute game changer for me. You know, how many of you are stuck in your business doing admin work, like emails and, you know, booking people in for sessions? You know, you get them texts on a Sunday night, you know, hey, can you book me in for 9 a.m. tomorrow morning? You're like, don't you know I've got a life, right? All that kind of stuff, right? That's what a PA's for, right? And I've got a great PA, full-time salesperson eventually, and then had someone running my ads as well, and I had an accountant. So I had this team that started to run my business, right? And had systems in place, you know, again, that I learned through Simon's program, the systems, like autoresponders and all the rest of it. Okay, so the business could run without me having to constantly be in it all the time, right? And this was an absolute game changer, okay, once I built out that team. Okay, cool. Simon, have you got anything else you want to say about that?
No, I'm just saying wonderful photos again.
I know. Okay, that brings back some memories there. So you got Adam, who was my head coach, top left. And then we brought in Dave, Magic Dave, we used to call him, because he was a magician. He was really good with card tricks, and he used to do it with the clients. It was awesome. Right?
Well, I mean, just a little side note tip for you guys, which is just, you know, I said that as a side kind of thing, but it is actually really important that you really think about like getting good photo shoots and thinking about, you know, what people are seeing on your Facebook ads and all of that. Because, you know, when you pick stock pictures versus having pictures of your own team, and Liam's got funny pictures of his head, you know, in a tire, and, you know, it's likable. It's kind of funny. It makes you feel good looking at it. So, you know, that's a really important thing to have as part of your business. And, you know, in marketing, you know, you have to look at what other people are doing and then make it improve on it, you know? So I know that Liam ran ads for these, and, you know, they did really well.
Yeah, for sure. I can remember we had a picture of all 3 of us jumping up in the air, like as high as we could. And we ran that as an ad, and it got really, really great results. And I just want to say, you might be thinking, hey, I can't afford for a photographer to come in and do all these pictures. Like what I did with my photographer, I said, hey, you can come and train for free, but when I need photos done or filming done, you can come and do it for us, right? And that was the deal I had with him, and it worked, right? So we've got loads of videos and loads of pictures done like this. It was great. So there's always a way that you can make that happen.
Yeah, nowadays, guys, especially at this time, moving forward this year, you got to be doing video. You've got to be like getting and separating yourself, especially in the news feed, with so much more stuff on social. So really, the key, the moves that Liam made, back then, like it's even more important now.
Absolutely, I totally agree. There's a lot of, a lot of stuff on Facebook, and you've got to stand out, out of the crowd, and good quality videos and pictures, and doing random stuff, to get people's attention is very, very important. Okay, cool. So that's secret number 2. So secret number 3, you don't need a complex marketing strategy to find loyal, high-paying clients. You can generate these hot leads for free. It even works if you live in a poor area. So I don't care where you are in the world. Okay. Now I'm not going to say this to sound big-headed in a way. Okay, but I just want to say it to kind of shock you in a way. Okay, but I feel that I could go to anywhere in the world. Okay, and if you sat me down in front of 10 people, I would be able to close them into a high-ticket program, right? And it doesn't matter where you are. There are clients ready to go. I promise you that, and I'm going to show them how they're right under your nose right now. Okay, so this is what I hear a lot from trainers, right? That they live in a bad area and there's nobody that wants to pay high prices for training programs, and I've got no good leads, and you have to go to London or Manchester or wherever it is to get high paying clients. I don't know, right? Okay, if you're in the UK, right? But I promise you that, like I just said a minute ago, like it doesn't matter where you are, right? I promise you there are leads. There are good high paying clients ready to go. Right now, the next thing is that I feel that the industry has become obsessed with like these 2,000-step funnels that you've got to get everyone going through this and this tripwire and da 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 da. Now, I'm not slamming funnels; like they play an important part. But if you're looking to get a few clients on the board and get yourself going, get some money in your back pocket to get you going, you don't have to do this. Right, you don't have to like build out these multi-step funnels, right? There's things that you can do for free that can get you in front of people and to enroll your first high-paying clients. Would you agree with that, Simon?
Yeah, and also I think sometimes when you go into that complexity and you start looking at different things, it's to distract you from the reality of actually needing to deal with the fundamentals, which is basically becoming a badass at sales, which is what Liam crafted.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and this is what
it's like basically sabotaging yourself, sticking in front of the computer when deep down you actually want to connect with people and go and be social. It's just a subconscious distraction of like a lot of different busy work, and then you're not actually getting to the result. You're charging little, but actually your business model isn't correct, and you've got to sort out the fundamentals of the business model first and do those things later.
I just want to tell a quick story. Like I remember when I started as a PT in like 2008, 2009, right, which is quite a long time ago now. And there was no such thing as funnels or Facebook ads. You actually had to physically go up to people inside the gym and start a conversation, right? And I'm sure a lot of PTs will be like, what? How did you even do that? And it was very like, I felt really nervous doing that, but that's what we had to do back then, right? We didn't have a choice. We had to go and do that. And I'm not saying you have to go and do that now, but I'm saying that, there are plenty of other ways that you can, start building relationships and conversations with people without, sitting in front of a computer for a week trying to build out some kind of funnel, right? Now, like Simon just said, like the key to all of this, and I want you to write this down, right, in capital block letters, that you need to learn how to sell high ticket. You need to learn sales. It is the biggest skill in your toolbox of being a successful PT. Without this, you will never, ever, ever, ever make it, okay? Because with business, sales, there's 2 parts. In my mind, there's 2 big parts to business: generating leads, making sales. And if you can't make sales, you're going to be, it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult, right? So it's important that you learn from someone like Simon, like I did from Simon, learn how to sell at a high level, right? And once I learned that, that's what everything changed for me, right? And it's important that you do that. It's just that, you know, when it comes to sales, you know, a lot of people feel uncomfortable asking, you know, originally I felt uncomfortable asking for money, and, you know, I didn't like it, and I felt sleazy and and I'm sure that you're going through those things too. But once I learned the skill set and realized that I was helping people by getting them properly financially committed, everything changed, right? That's a whole different webinar or training, I think. But
another thing too to mention is, like, you know, how much you're charging is in direct relation to your own self-worth. And so that's why it's absolutely critical to get a shift, to get a mindset shift, because if you don't feel like you're worth it, then you're never going to increase your price points, you know? So you are literally being paid right now what you are worth, you know, very, very key.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big believer of that. And it kind of brings us on to this point, which is very important. You're probably thinking, what the hell is this, right? So, you know, I'm not being sexist here in any kind of way. Right, we could be.
Well, those are my. You're not, because those are all my handbags.
Yeah. So I could use the example of guys with golf clubs or bikes or whatever you want. You know, cars. You know, women with clothes, handbags. You know, people are quite happy to go into, you know, American Golf or go into a designer shops and drop thousands of pounds on items that are not going to bring them much value long term. It might bring you some happiness for a short term, but not long term, right? Now, why is it that you are not charging these kind of prices, and people are not buying your training programs at these kind of prices, when your product, your training programs are not only going to get people into shape, you know well that it's going to change their whole life, right? So if people are quite happy to go and drop money on handbags and golf clubs and, you know, all that kind of stuff, why is it that they're not, you know, wanting to drop that kind of money on your training programs? And the reason for that is your sales process, right? You just haven't got to that point. You know, let's take this lady here, for example. She's picked a handbag and she really wants it, right? She really wants it, okay? That's what you need to do in your sales process, get people to a point to realize how important it is to them to change their health and ultimately change their life, right? And you deserve to be paid that kind of money, because, you know, that is going to absolutely change their life. And I think £1,000 to change someone's life is an absolutely fair trade, in my opinion. Okay. Would you agree, Simon?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll go back to what I said earlier, which is most people in the industry are still charging what they were conditioned to by the training company that taught them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
exactly.
very, very key. And also another thing too, just touching on this subject, which is, you know, by buying something like that, which basically, you know, stimulates an emotion for a short period of time, people really need to understand it. It's like, it's about doing something for their long-term health, which is going to get them sustainability. And the fact that, you know, if they invest in their health, maybe they'll get more confident and quit their job and get a 50,000 or a, you know, 30,000 pound or dollar pay rise. So you got to start associating that, because if you're just thinking about it in terms of trading time for money, of course you're always going to charge little. It's about the outcome.
Yeah, absolutely. And one more point I just want to add, like, I was just a level 3 PT, right? I had like level 3 and circuits qualification, right? I wasn't some multi-experienced level 5, every qualification under some PT. You know, if you know how to get results for people, which all of you do, right, then you can charge the amount of money that you deserve, right, that you're worth, right? That's simple, because we're in an industry for results. If you can get a result, then you're worth the value. It doesn't matter if you're brand new to the industry or you've had 20 years in the industry, right? If you can get results for people, which I know you can, which I could, then you deserve to charge what you're worth, right? Okay, cool. So I'm going to go through this strategy, right? You're probably thinking, what's the strategy? What's the strategy? God. Right, okay, cool. So here's what I want you to do. Now, this is almost so simple that I feel almost stupid saying it to you, but this is something that I used to do every kind of 6 months in my business, in my fitness studio. And you can't do this all the time. This is something that you can do, like I just said, every 6 months or so. But here's what I want you to do. Okay. So I want you to not do this right now, but, you know, tomorrow, is to write down. I want you to go through text messages. I want you to go through emails. I want you to go through Facebook messages, you know, old par Qs, people that have been for consultations but didn't buy anything. every single person where you have had contact with someone, but they're not currently a client, right? And I know that you could write down at least 50 names, right? Or even 100 or 150 names, right? Or even like just a simple conversation on Facebook or a text message, but they're not follow through. I want you to write down all of their names, okay? And I just want you to send out a message to them and just say, like, let's say the client's name is Sarah. Say, hey, Sarah, just reaching out to you. Hope you're good. I was wondering if you're happy with your body right now. Is there anything I can help you with? Right? Try and inspire conversation. Right? And what you'll find is a lot of people won't reply, but you may get like, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 reply, and suddenly you're in conversations with people, and then you can lead them down the route of booking them in for a consultation. Find out their pains, their struggles, their problems, what's going on in their life, okay, and say, hey, cool, I can help you with that. Okay, what we need to do is get you booked in for an hour consultation, and I can show you how, for example, if they say, I need to drop 2 stone, I can show you how to drop 2 stone. Right, but we need to set up a meeting. Right, give them a reason to come in. Okay, you set up a consultation, and then you can sell your training programs. Right, because there's plenty of people who you've spoken to but are not followed through. We're so busy chasing new leads when really you've got a load of leads of people that already know you, who like you and trust you potentially, that you've not kind of acted upon. Right. So in the chat box, off the top of your head, how many people do you think that, you know, in your text messages, Facebook, email, all the other ways that you communicate with people, old people that are coming for consultations, how many people, like off the top of your head, just write down a number in the chat box. Do you reckon you could find 20 people, 30 people, 40 people, 50 people? Just write down a number. Simon, could you read out the numbers?
250, 50, 50.
Okay, cool. Right. So we've got 50, like a lot of you said 50, right? So that's great. So you've got 50 potential leads right there, right under your nose. You didn't even know about it, right? So tomorrow you get on them straight away. Like I say, don't take it to heart. Some people won't respond at all, right? You may even get people, not be very nice, but that's okay, right? That's their shit. It's not yours, right? So reach out to them. You'll get some responses, have a good conversation with them, build up that relationship again, right? And then get them booked in for consultation, right? It's that simple, right? And then, like I said earlier, once you understand the sales part of it, okay, then you can then obviously sell the high tickets, sell the high paying programs that you want to, and that's it, right? It's very, very simple. This is not rocket science, right? I promise you this is not rocket science. That will give you the money in your back pocket to then, you can start running Facebook ads and stuff, which Simon goes through in FitPro Mastery, and off you go, right? It's very, very simple. Yeah, that's the way I feel about it anyway. Cool. Simon, you got anything to add?
I was just going to say, just be wary of the stories that you create before not doing something. So, you may be thinking, well, people won't like that. Or just like Liam says, you're worried, and understand it's that mindset piece that stops you from getting to the next level. So we're giving you some fundamental, simple things here, which a lot of people won't do because of the stories that they create, So there's so much opportunity around us, but we can't see it because we're not able to take those simple actions, not because we can't do it and that people don't want our help, but there's something else going on internally with you that's stopping you from taking action.
Always, like what I've seen for myself and others, like studio owners and fit pros that I've helped coach in the past, is just what's going on upstairs, the stories that's holding them back from pushing forward. Okay, it's so important, like Simon says, and that's what Simon goes through in the Fit Pro Mastery, is overcoming all that stuff so you can get in the right kind of mindset for success, so you can just push through and crack on. Okay, cool. So once I'd done that and kind of got some money in my back pocket, I then outsourced my Facebook ads. Okay. And I took somebody on, this is me building out my team through Simon's advice. And, then the applications come pouring in, right? As you can see there, transformation session applications, 416 people had filled out a form on my website. And I think that was over like 6 months. Yeah, 6 months, 18 forms a week that I was generating, right? Now, I just want to say quickly, I would never ever say just depend on Facebook ads to bring you leads. Is make sure that you've got doing different things, which again, Simon goes through. But you know, Facebook is such a powerful way to bring in leads. Okay, cool. Okay, I'll just show you this again. So once I've added all those three things together, okay, so I learned high ticket sales. Okay, that was if you're going to take anything away from today, it's learning the sales part of it. Honestly, it's so important, right? So having the right structure in place of the semi-private, okay, training, you know, 1 to 8 people at a time, you know, charging what I'm worth, you know, bringing in £1,000 per client, okay, learning the high ticket sales, building out my team, right, and stepping away, which is very powerful, making sure that I'm generating leads in all different types of ways, okay? Okay, cool. So I'll go through this again. So the proof's in the pudding, right? So these are the kind of numbers you've seen all this already. So £196,000, which I don't know what that is in dollars over a year, Simon, but probably about $260,000, something like that, off the top of my head, I'm guessing.
I'll come back to you in a minute when I've searched.
Okay, cool. So guys, like I want to let all of you know right now on this training that I still am a normal guy. Okay, I had a level 3 qualification and I was able to produce these kind of results. There is no difference between me and you, except that, you know, I grabbed life by the balls, took Simon on, invested some money and got a very, you know, took action and got a very, very good outcome. Okay, and you can do this too, right? I want to know if you can you write in the chat box for me? I want to know if you are up for creating this kind of income, right? Who would like to earn that kind of money? Just type me, exclamation mark, and a smiley face or something funny in the chat box for me if you would like to make that kind of money, right? Who wouldn't, right? But I want to know that you want it, right? Whilst having loads of freedom, right? Of course, and building a business based on your terms. So Simon, how many people have said they want to do it? I see a few coming in.
Yeah, we've got everyone. Of course, everyone wants it. Why? Because it's going to give you the freedom and the choices to do what you want to do and take the holidays that you want, or buy more equipment, or, you know, reinvest in yourself, whatever that is. You know, so of course, and you had that big desire too. You know, you wouldn't have got the results that you got if you weren't committed and you didn't have the desire. In Think and Grow Rich, he talks about intensity of desire. You've got to want it enough. Otherwise, it's just like a client that comes to you that says they want to get fit and shredded and you know, want to lose weight, but they're not fully committed. They don't have that mindset, and they want to shift. They don't want to shift into high performance, though that they say that they want it. So very, very important.
And another thing that I hear trainers say a lot is like, Liam, you know, I'm not worried about the money. I just want to create an impact. I just want to help people, right? Well, if you want to make the biggest impact you can, you want to help as many people as possible, you've got to make money, right? Because then you can put on, you know, you can build more fitness facilities, you can put on more events, you can, you know, reach more people, right? Through marketing, because you've got the money to do that, right? That's how you're going to do that, right? It's just that sometimes I find that trainers have a bad attachment to wanting to make money. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing because you'll be able to create more impact.
Yeah, you never get someone who can give £1 million to charity by having no money. You know, so if you want to have a massive impact and then go and build homes in Africa and give to the charities that you want to give to, and have enough money that you can run, you know, X amount on Facebook ads to share one video because it's inspirational, you can't do that with no money. You have to have money.
For sure. Just wanted to show you this quickly. You know, some of you might be thinking, okay, cool, Liam, it's great that you earn all that kind of money, but what were your overheads? I just wanted to give you a quick idea of the kind of profit that I was bringing in, right? So let's take one of my biggest months where I did £28,500. Outgoings were about just under 11,000, right? So that's the outgoings are including my wages. I paid myself £3,000. My team wages were just over 3,000, and I paid bonuses out as well. Had to pay national insurance. My studio rent was 1,000. I paid Facebook ads management was $1,000. I spent about £600 on ad spend. Bought new equipment, online booking system. The odd thing like refunds, they have to go. My phone, accountant. Thank you cards to clients for joining the program, stuff like that, and email marketing. Right. So that's kind of like an average month, and a total profit of 17,000. Right. So I just want to get that across that. Yes, I brought that kind of income in, but the actual profit was that, okay, which is not bad, right? Considering that I'd already paid myself. So I'd paid myself £3,000 plus had 17,000 left over in my business account, right? Cool. And that's what enabled me to go and join Tony Robbins' Platinum Program, for example, which, is a $100,000 investment, right? There's no way I could have done it.
Which had a massive impact on you. When you can reinvest in yourself, amazing things can happen because, you don't want to, if you want to share it, but if you didn't do that, then you wouldn't have, had certain things happen to you,
Yeah, like that is a huge story. But like basically what happened was that I went on my first event to Tony Robbins. Simon introduced me to a guy called Anil Gupta, who's a best-selling author of Immediate Happiness. I didn't know that right now. And I was going through some real struggles in my personal life. I lost my dad to a motorcycle accident at 21 years old. And I had some real issues going on with that, and I didn't even know. And he had a conversation with me, and it just absolutely changed my life. And, that a lot of the things that have happened in my life now, meeting my partner, like I met my partner Samantha at UPW, which is a Tony Robbins event. So I met her as well, right? I had so many amazing things happen because I was able to go and do that, right? And like, there's so many massive, awesome stories that I'd love to tell you about the Tony Robbins Platinum Partnership, but I don't think we've got time right now, but maybe another training session. But yeah, just using that as an example is very powerful. Cool. Simon, do you want to go through these awesome people that have also got awesome results?
Yeah. So, we just wanted to share in this, it's not just Liam's results that he got, but, Keith here, he came into one of my programs and then now is in the Platinum Mastermind, went from 8 to 28 clients in 1 month. And, he said he was getting, very small amount of clients in a month, and then everything changed. Again, same business model, small studio, semi-private, high ticket. Okay, that's the formula for all of these that we're going to show you. What's the next one? I think we got who's up next? Yeah, this is David from Switzerland. He went from 8K, and he's actually done far more than this now. Actually, since this 8K to 50K per month. And he says it's not just about becoming more business savvy, it's about growing your entire business world. And so he has an amazing location in Switzerland. And then he, again, uses the same formula, small studio, semi-private, high ticket, and then, scaling it that way because you get more money to play with that way, and you got more cash available, which allows you to grow faster and scale. It's all about scale and traction, guys. Simplicity, scale, and traction. It's not easy though. You just got to do the work, This is David, actually from Florida. Runs a really cool, like a hero gym, which I love because it's like Fitpreneurs, fits with the theme. He said he was bleeding money, barely making 2 to 3K to keep his rent, and he has a 2,000 square foot, and he made 50K in 12 weeks. Again, same small location, okay, small location, semi-private, high ticket, and then scale. Yep.
Okay, cool. And I just want to add as well that before joining the Fitpreneurs team, I personally coached studio owners as well. And if you go onto my personal profile, you'll see all testimonials of people that I personally helped as well. Like people like a girl called Liz in Canary Wharf, London. When I met her, she was doing she's doing quite a good figure already, like £12,000 a month. But I managed to get her to break through a £50,000 month. Kevin, who worked in Cambridgeshire, doing like £2,000 to £3,000 a month, is now doing 20K. I had a guy called Ian who was 20K in debt, is now doing 20K months, right? So not only have I done this myself, I've helped other people do the same as well. And obviously Simon's getting great results, and now I'm really excited to be part of the Fitpreneurs team to kind of build that, come together and make it very powerful.
Yeah, and guys, just really try and catch yourself if you have a thought that comes up, which is that I can't do that, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not ready, or whatever. Like, you have to catch that thought because most of it comes back to mindset and inner game.
Yeah, it's so important. Like, and this is what stops a lot of trainers. I want you, like, I'm like I said earlier, I was a normal guy, you know, slaving away in my business, working hard, not getting the results. But, you know, once I, you know, stepped up, invested, got the information that I needed and worked hard, took action, I got a result. I promise you this is, you can do this too. Okay. So past hour, okay, we're a little bit longer than past hour. We've got to get a bit further. Okay. We're having such a good time. Would you agree it's been time well spent so far? Just type yes if you've enjoyed this. If you think it's been time well spent. Okay, if you don't like it, then I'm really sorry. But if you have enjoyed it, just let us know in the comments box. It'd be really great. Does anyone like it? Just type yes if you've enjoyed this, if this has helped you, inspired you, made you think it's possible for you. Well, I've got one person. Well, that's great. We've one person's enjoyed it. 2, 3. Okay, awesome. Okay, cool. Obviously, we can't cover everything in this hour training. You know, even if you had all day, I'd love to, you know, go into all the ins and outs of, because I'm sure this has probably opened a can of worms for you and you've probably got more questions than you did at the start of the training. Okay. But we've got a special offer, so you can get everything that you need to know. So you can get the same results as me. Okay. All the testimonials that Simon shared. Okay. And you can get all the ins and outs and everything you need to know how we can get the same results in your business. Right. But I'm not going to offer this unless you guys want it, right? So do you want me to talk about how you can get the same results, right? How you can get this special offer. If you want this, just type me in the comment. I know I'm getting you to write again. I'm sorry. Just write me if you want me to go through the special offer so you can find out how to get these results. Just do it now. Do it now. Okay, that's one. Anyone else? Anyone else want to find out how you can get the ins and outs personally, right? Just write me in the chat box. Simon, who's saying me right now?
Ricardo, Lou, yeah, carry on, Liam.
Okay, cool. All right, okay, cool, nice. Right, but you must act fast. Okay, cool. So this is the next step, right? This is the next step, right? It's a 60-minute high-performance fitness studio call. Personally with me, okay? For the first few people that sign up, okay? I can't guarantee that it will be definitely me past, say, the first 10, okay? But if you're in quick, you do it quickly, okay? It's definitely going to be with me, and I'm going to show you how you can implement this into your own business, okay? So this is what's going to happen on this 60-minute call, right? You're going to get a full 60 minutes with me, one-to-one, right? So I'm going to share my experience. I'm going to share my wisdom. I'm going to share my enthusiasm with you and show you how you can get these results, right? Show you how it's possible for you. Okay, that's the first thing that we're going to do, right? I'm going to help you build a bigger vision and clarity, because that's what Simon did for me. Help me build a bigger vision, right? Like, I can remember that first phone call. Simon was like, what income would you like to create? And I was like, I've always had this goal of creating 10K a month. He was like, why not 20? I was like, oh God, yeah. So create a bigger vision and clarity on what's possible for you, okay? And get you inspired, get you excited, okay? An action plan to make it all happen. So I'm going to give you a strategy, a step-by-step guide to how you can make this happen, okay? And so you can take something away off this call, go and implement and make it happen, okay? And a kick up the backside for action. This is what a lot of people need help with. They just need some inspiration. They just need someone to go, hey, you can do this, right? I'm very good at getting people excited, very good at getting people motivated, good at people kind of, pushing them in the right direction so they can go and get everything that I've showed you tonight, okay? So that's the total value, okay? So who does this work for, right? Studio owners, so this is who you need to be, a studio owner, PTs who are doing small group training, PTs who want to convert from one-on-one to train to small groups and do that semi-private model that I was talking about, and any PT with a space to train 4 to 8 people at a time. So if you come in any of these categories, okay, you are a good fit for this call with me. Okay, which I'm sure that you all are, because you probably wouldn't be here otherwise, right? And also I'm going to chuck in a bonus for you, okay, which is a free lead magnet, right? So on my website for my studio, I used to have this like 99 unknown secrets to fat loss, like PDF lead magnet. I'm going to give you that, okay? This is only for the first 5 people. I'm going to give you the editable version, so you can just slap your logo on it and stick it on your website, and you can use that as a lead magnet too, right? I actually wrote that lead magnet on the way back from Simon's Thailand mastermind. in December 2014. Okay. Okay, cool. So I won't go through this again. Okay. So you know exactly what you're going to get. Okay. I'm really excited to speak to you guys. Right. So if all this did was give you some clarity on what to do personally, okay, would it be worth it? Of course it'd be worth it, right? Pointed you in the right direction and gave you a shift into action to start creating the business based on your terms, right? And this is what it's all about, building a business based on your terms. A lot of you have got businesses right now based on your clients' terms, right? Which is not fitting you, right? You know, I say to a lot of trainers, you're changing your clients' lives. When are you going to change your own, right? And it needs to start today, right? You need to start building a business based on your life, your terms, how you want it to be, not how your clients want it to be, right? But we get caught in that trap, right? And we just feel like we're on a, excuse the pun, treadmill of just doing these things every single day and not getting a result, right? If you want to get a different result, something's got to change, right? Today is that change. So these are free, right? And I'm not going to be doing this forever, but for the first 10 people, okay, so I put aside 10 of these calls every month, okay, and they're free, okay? So if you apply, all you need to do, okay, this is what you need to do if you want to apply, right? It's very, very simple. You need to go to my Facebook profile. So if you type in www.facebook.com/liam.m.britton, that's my Facebook profile, or if you go onto Messenger and search Liam Mark Britton, okay, and find me in Messenger, open up a private message with me and just write the word call, right? And I'm going to find my phone, okay, which is here with me now. And I know it will take a few of you some time for you to get there, but I'm sure that you'll get there. So you just find my profile, okay, open up a message, okay, and write the word call, C-A-L-L, okay? Then I'll be able to send you a link where you can book personally into my diary, okay? Who's going to do that? Okay, I'm just waiting for a few people to book in a call. Simon, do you want to put the link in the chat box so they've got a direct link?
Sure.
Cool. I can see one's just come through. So Dan Redwood has he is the first one that stepped up and taken action. Good man. Okay, I will send you a link as soon as this training is done.
So the thing to say, which is like, if you want those bigger numbers, like even if it was half of that, right, then you've got to take the first step somewhere, you know? And so good for you guys who are taking this opportunity, because Liam isn't going to be able to do it for everyone. No. So this is rare. So take it while you've got the opportunity. I would highly, highly suggest that, you know, to get your momentum.
Like when I first started with Simon, like I had no idea that I'd be able to do the kind of figures that I've been showing you tonight and be able to build a team so I could completely step out. I had no, you know, I wanted to make more money. That's all I knew. I wanted to build a business that was better, but I had no idea that I was able to do that. Right. So, okay, here comes another one. Also,
guys, like, do this if you want to do it. You know, it's like you've got to have that desire. You've got to be like, now is the time. I don't want to go through this year and have the same situation I had for the past 12 months, 18 months, 3 years, and just be continuously frustrated, or be frustrated with the level of impact that you want to have, because the extra money is going to open up doors for you to get some more personal development, or go and sign up for an exciting new event, or put on your own event, or add new equipment to your studio, or buy that new house, or buy the new family home, which is going to have a better experience for your children, whatever that is for you. And for some of you, you might actually want to write down, what are a few things that I want to shoot for? And I know that Liam will be drilling into this heavily with you, because that's what I did with him. Because if you don't have that desire, it's the same for your clients. If a client comes on board and says, you know, I want to lose weight, I want to get fit, but they don't have that underlying why of why they want to do it, they won't blast through the challenges when they come up, and they'll quit, and that's why they'll leave. You've got to, like, deep down have that, you know, do you know what? I really want this. Maybe I don't believe in myself a little bit right now, but do you know what? I do have the skill set. I do have the passion, I do have the drive, and do you know what? I freaking deserve this. I went and I qualified and I certified and I put in my time, my effort, and my energy to spend hours and hours and hours learning my craft, not so I could earn a mediocre income, so I could be the expert, so I could be the high authority, so that I could have my place, not just locally, but potentially nationally or internationally in men's health or in on TV or whatever. You've got to start to get that momentum somewhere, whether that's here, whether it's with something else. You have to have it also encompassing not just the business, but also your mind. Because here's the thing, true transformation doesn't come just from fitness, doesn't come from nutrition, it comes from mindset too. And lasting change, and when you listen to Liam's story around, forgiveness and getting to the next level and building a relationship or ending a bad relationship, that all comes from you getting into this place of flow, from you getting into that place where you deserve it, where you feel that you're congruent, where you feel that you absolutely have the skill set, but some pieces, they need to be put together. And that's exactly how Liam's going to help you. And again, it's rare. It's a great opportunity. Hopefully you've enjoyed this training, and over to Liam.
Yeah, Simon, that was just awesome, by the way. I just want to say that. Secondly, I just want to say that, guys, I don't care, you might be thinking, I'm not sure if Liam will want to speak to me because I'm only a trainer, I'm only earning this amount. You've just got to forget about that. I don't care if you're earning £500 a month, £1,000 a month. This is a free call. But I'm giving you an opportunity to speak to me, someone who's been there in the industry and done it, right, and got a great result, and I'm going to help kind of fast track you, make sure that you're on the right track to get what you want, right? So please, please, please do not let this opportunity go. Make sure you at least come and talk to me, okay, and we can take it from there, because like I say, it's free, right? I'm not charging for this, okay? I've only got 10 of these available, so make sure that you come and do it, okay, and get it done.
Something else I'm going to say, which is when you jump on these calls with Liam, you need to be willing to be 100% raw and honest, because here's the truth. If you're not, then Liam isn't going to be able to pick something out in the call where he says, do you know what? Let's stop you. I want to stop you there because you said something which is massive. And that's the power in a personal conversation where Liam can drill into the specifics of your situation and notice something that you said that maybe you couldn't see yourself. Just think about clients that come to you and they're saying something and they're doing something and you see an alteration that could potentially change everything, and suddenly they start to get momentum. And that's about being willing to just be raw and say, do you know what? This is what I'm ashamed of, or this is why I think I've been playing small, because I don't want you to play small any longer. You don't deserve it. Your family doesn't deserve it. And most of all, the people that you want to impact need it. They need you to step up, and they need you to step into the power of the place that is really going to create massive change, lasting change. And here's a word you want to write down: legacy. What do you want your legacy to be?
And what I see time and time again is trainers, coming from a place and making decisions based on fear or what could happen in the future. What if this goes wrong? If you spend your life doing that, you're gonna end up with a life that you don't want. Right, you've got to start coming from a place as if everything's going to go right, and that is what I did. Right, I stopped hiding. I stopped acting out of fear and worrying and stressing, and thought, do you know what? I'm going to get life by the balls, and I'm just going to do this. Right, I used to look at trainers and I used to think, well, if he's doing it or if she's doing it, why can't I do it? Right, and once I tried on my own, and I'm sure there's trainers on this. And coaches and studio owners on this training right now, you've been trying to do it on your own for a long time, right? And you've not got the results. You might have got some results, but not the results that you're capable of, right? And that is where you just need some help. You need some guidance. You need someone to kind of, push you through, right? Look at something a little bit differently, right? And that's what Simon did for me, okay? And that's what I'm gonna do for you, right? So it's important that you take full advantage of this opportunity. And I just want to say again that, I'm nothing special. I was only level 3 qualified. I hated asking for money originally. And I know that's going to be a sticking point for a lot of you. Oh God, I feel uncomfortable asking for that kind of money. Right? That's okay. Okay, that's fine. But, we can change that. I can help you. You can be coached through that, right? I only had a small space to start with, right? I only had like basically, you know, like the 2x1 mats that you get. I had like 8 of them pushed together. That was the area that I started in, right? Training my clients is basically on the spot, right? But then I still created, you know, a business that nearly done just under 200,000 in a year. Okay. And I say time and time again to trainers just that you haven't learned something yet. Learn something to action and to get you the result, right? And that's what I'm going to be revealing.
The important question to ask too, which is what's going to happen if this continues for the next 12 months, 2 years, 3 years? That's the question you need to ask.
Yeah, absolutely. How long can you go on? You know, like I said earlier, if you want to get a different result, you've got to change something. Right? Einstein said that. Right? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So if you've been in your business 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and you're hoping that just one day everything's going to change and suddenly you're going to have more freedom, suddenly you're going to have more money, I'm here to tell you that it's not going to happen. You've got to do something different, right? Majorly different, right? Change it, right? And then you'll get a different result. And that's what I did, right? You know, I went through that up and down, being a one-on-one PT, having that boot camp, making massive mistakes, going back to employment, right? Then giving it another go, right? And then finally cracking the code once I got that guidance with Simon. Okay.
Another thing we were going to talk about too, Liam, was your thoughts on, you know, having to go online and do online training, which is great, but you don't need to do that.
Yeah. So I meet a lot of like PTs and studio owners who think, okay, the only way that I'm going to have more freedom is if I go online, and there are a lot of kind of people kind of coaching that, saying, you know, the only way you're going to have freedom is to be an online coach, which is not true, right? It's just that you just haven't been taught how to run a business properly, right? If you're currently in the business running it all, of course, you're never going to have the time and the freedom. But if you learn how to scale, outsource, build a team, right, then yes, you're able to then have a fitness business that can work on your terms, that doesn't require your time. It's just that you just need to learn all that stuff, and that's all it is, right? And the first step is obviously having the call. Okay. Okay, cool. So Louis Brown. Hey, Louis, how you doing, buddy? He's saying cool as well. So that's 3, which is awesome, right? So we've got a few more spaces left. If you want to make sure that you are guaranteed a call, you just need to go to that link, which I'm sure Simon's put in the chat box, facebook.com/liam.am.britton, and just write the word call, CALL, and we can get you started and set up a call with me personally. Simon, any final thoughts?
No, guys, if you want to take this, make sure you take the opportunity by the end of the day and you know, get signed up.
Yeah, cool. Well, I've really enjoyed taking you through this webinar, this training. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've taken something powerful away from it, at least maybe some inspiration on what is possible for you. But I look forward to all the guys that have stepped up and reached out to me for a call. I'm really, really excited. If you haven't yet, you still got time, like Simon says, to the end of the day. And I will be speaking to you very, very soon.
Cheers, guys. Take it easy.